Hi, this is Maria Mandarino, licensed acupuncturist, certified spiritual director, and certified Enneagram practitioner, and Bachflower practitioner as well. Today, I'm going to talk about your Enneagram and a 20-year cycle that we have all recently, in the past few months, completed. Actually, delayed doing this particular episode because we were in the middle of the parenting episode. So I wanted parenting series, I should say. So I wanted to complete that. So this is a little bit delayed, but it is a 20-year cycle, so we have some work ahead of us. And today I'm going to introduce the idea of the overlap between astrology and the Enneagram. Not going to get into a lot of detail about that here. If you do want to do this work, specific to you, to your chart, to your Enneagram, this is the work that I do. So if you're interested in that, go to the website, mariamandarino.com. You can schedule a complimentary discovery call to even see if we're a good fit to work together. But the concepts that I'm going to introduce today are things that I work with in your Enneagram, in your chart, kind of braiding things together. Theory being, our chart is, as we decide to come in to this planet, into this realm, we come in with what we call a natal promise and the work to be done in this life, in this lifetime. And then the Enneagram is how it gets to play out. This is my interpretation of how the two things come together. So we land here, we're coming in, we've got the chart, we land here, and our Enneagram begins to develop. And it's pretty amazing at the overlap between those two things as we look at the evolution of a life and use those two things for deeper self-awareness. There's tremendous overlap. So I'm going to give you a very loose overview of a 20-year cycle that we're looking at. Pluto just moved into Aquarius. And again, I'm not going to get into the specifics of what that means other than Pluto can give us one of two things, fear or transformation. And in this episode, we're going to focus on the transformation of the Pluto transit. So you may not know what house Pluto is in your chart. If you do, that's going to give you a little extra information with what we talk about. If you don't, again, reach out and we can get that scheduled and explore that. So some of my questions is because Pluto's moving into Aquarius, it's just finished a cycle. And you, again, may not know where that cycle was in your chart, but here are some really good clues. Where and how would you say you have been transformed in the past 20 years? Or what have you been afraid of for the past 20 years? I prefer not to focus on the lower side of it. I'm preferring to focus on the transformation side of Pluto. But the fear is usually the thing we'll pay attention to. So that might give you a little bit of a clue. How have the last 20 years changed you? It's another question, another way to phrase the same question. Here's a good one. What's now non-negotiable for you? Now we're going to talk about this through your Enneagram type in a moment. So what is now non-negotiable for you over the course of the past 20 years? Where have you landed and what's non-negotiable for you now? Another way of asking that is, what have you learned in the last 20 years? And the way I look at it when I work with people is you've just graduated and you've entered a new program and you're in graduate school. That's one way to look at it. As you enter this new house of Pluto being in Aquarius. So again, we're not going to focus on the astrology of that so much and what it means to be in Aquarius. I really want to focus on the Pluto piece of this, the transformation, because to me, that's the golden work of the Enneagram is how can I transform? How can I evolve? Okay. And this is very Plutonian. It's very Plutonian. It's very generational. Important to point out, I think, that what's happening to you in this 20-year cycle is happening to every single person on the planet through each of 9 different types who may land in one of 12 different houses. So it'll have 12 different topics depending on who you're talking to. So what I'm saying is we're in this time of transformation, this radical transformation on the planet. It's an extreme, and there's other transits going on that I'm not even going to touch upon, but this is a time of great change. And being aware in times of great change is the key to everything. So I want to highlight that. So I want to consider Pluto as it relates to your Enneagram. So type 1. So the way I think, there's various ways to do this, but the way I think we can really do the deep excavation work is to look at the vices, the low side of type. Okay. So type 1, I want you to look at your anger. The transformation is going to happen, or the potential for transformation in the next 20 years for you is going to happen around your anger. Type 2, the transformation is going to be around your pride. Okay. Type 3, transformation will be around your deceit. And with 3s, it's important to say, how you deceive others and essentially how you deceive yourself, because that's really the key root of what's going on with 3. Excuse me. Type 4, your envy. Where is the potential for transformation around your envy? The lower side of 4. Type 5, where's the potential for transformation around your avarice? Your need to withdraw and pull back your energy, pull back information, pull back the things that you do not want to share. Type 6, where's your transformation or your potential transformation around the topic of fear? I think type 6s get an extra dose of this because Pluto is about fear. And the lower expression of Pluto and the lower expression of 6 is fear. So I think you guys are a little more, might get kicked around a little more by Pluto than the other 8 types. Type 7, your transformation, your potential for transformation is around gluttony or overconsumption. Particularly as it relates to wanting to avoid pain. Okay, because that's why 7s overconsume in their lower expression. They're trying to avoid suffering. Type 8, your potential for transformation is around lust or excessiveness, right? Just a largeness around your the things that you seek out, your appetites. Okay, so that's where your potential for transformation lies. And type 9, your laziness, that's the low side there, your sloth, right? And sloth is the vice of the 9. So the potential for transformation for the 9 is around laziness and stepping in instead of just fading out. So those are some loose topics. It's a brief one today. This one, the work is on you. You know your type if you're here and you're exploring your Enneagram. You are already, I would imagine, immersed in a lot of these ideas. So however you do it, and this will depend on your type, and I think whether you're a heart type or a head type or a body type. Some people might work it out at the gym and get clarity there on these ideas of transformation through the vice within your type. Some people may get it through community and discussion and an exploration with people that they trust and love. Some people might do it through journaling. Some people might do it through creative expressions or creative expression. Or heart types are probably awesome at that, performing, singing, writing poetry, dancing. Body types might also resonate with the dancing. And don't stick yourself in a box that way. So if you're a head type and you like to dance, well, hell, do it. All right. The key is exploring this idea of where can I focus my energy of transformation over these next 20 years, and reflecting back as well, where have I transformed over the last 20 years? What are the things, it's actually a window of about 16 to 20 years. What are the things that are just no longer permitted in my world? what can I no longer make space for because I have graduated from that program and I'm not doing things that way anymore. So looking back, think of it that way. Looking forward, see the setup for what's happening and how you can use your Enneagram type to pivot out of the lower expression of your type, which is where we all go when we're stressed, right? So fear of transformation, right? There's going to be stress in that. It's not one or the other. It's more of a both and. You know, the fear is the piece that starts to turn the transformation. That's where the work happens, is probably the better way to say that. So in that work, go to your vice. You know, I've gotten a lot of pushback here from certain types about the lower expression of type. And I'm in no way, no form picking on people's lower expression and saying that you are your lower expression. Not what I'm saying. And if you think that, I apologize that that's how you might have translated that. But please go back and realize that our lower expression is an accurate part of who we are, a real part of who we are. And it's where, and here's the thing, if you take anything from this video, our lower expression is where your work begins. It's not who you are. It's not what I'm trying to box you into. It's not a label I'm throwing at you, but I am telling you, especially if it triggers you, especially if any of these words, these vice related words trigger you, I am telling you that is where your work begins. Whether you want to do it with me, whether you want to do it with someone else, whether you want to try to wade through it on yourself, that can be tough, especially if you're really struggling with the ideas of owning those lower parts of who you are. The shadow is a bear. Okay, it is a bear, and it will wrestle you. Personally, I think the humane way of going about it is with somebody who's trained to lead you out of it, to help you find your way out of it. To have a trained spiritual companion. It's another word for spiritual director. Spiritual director, soul friend, spiritual companion. They call us midwives of the soul. We are there to make sure you don't get lost in the dark waters. Okay, and there are 9 ways to get lost in the dark waters, my friends. So we all have a vice. Once we identify it, once we start doing the work, trust me, you'll fall back into the vice. It's not something, it's not a one and done. Okay, it's a constant journey, it's constant correction. So this one with the Pluto transformational work, it's a 20-year and one particular house topic. Again, if you would like to know what that house topic is, schedule with me. I'd be happy to get you on that path, whether you want to just do one session with me to get that situated. I can discuss how that works with you. Or if you want to do spiritual direction with me for an ongoing journey to work on some of these subjects. We're all on the path. Okay, so reach out if you would like that support. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I do have a Ko-fi account if you would like to contribute to the channel. That helps me to produce more content here that will be more in depth, bring in more people that can bring in their particular areas of expertise as well. So thank you for being here. Look forward to seeing you next time. Take care. Be well.